Guys, welcome to the next Dead Anarchy development log, and this development log is going to be covering something a little bit different to what I normally do, and we're going to be covering SE. SE, also known as Sharp Edge, is the map editor used for DA, and it's a custom made piece of software for the engine itself. As you can see, our company text logo is down here, and I really like this piece of software now. Over the last 3 days I've spent hours and hours of work revolutionizing it, making it work better, and adding a ton of new features. But what we can see here is just going to show off some of the completely new features. So what you can do now is, well, I mean, people haven't seen this editor before, but what you can do is with an object, as you can see, this is a little test map I have, and all these grass objects here, I've unticked collide. Just because, like, I don't know, it's a little bit of a issue feature that was before kind of hard to change, but now it's simple. Tick collide, don't tick collide. When you click export, anything that's not ticked as collide will be exported onto the collision, and everything that isn't tick collide will be exported to the draw model. So, another couple of features here is we now have an edit button on these. We can choose to replace the model. We can choose to change the texture. So what I'm actually just going to do for the lols is replace the model of this with an alternative model, which will probably crash the game, I guess, but actually might not. But if I just select an alternative model here, I'm not sure what I'm actually going to replace it with. But if I replace it with that, okay, so if I want to replace 144 objects, yes, that replaces it with a slightly taller piece of grass. And I know that looks stupid, that's just because these ones don't actually have many grass blades. But I'm going to go ahead and change that back now. You know what, actually I think that looks better with taller grass, except the grass that I'm using is actually a grass patch model rather than an individual blade, so it wouldn't work. So here we go. Replace that back to what it was, and we can go from there. The other thing that you can also do is you can choose to replace the texture of all the instances. You see, each thing has its own texture, and you can place things with different textures. So things of the same type can be placed with different textures. You can replace that. You can also choose to delete them. So what I'm actually going to go ahead and do now is, well, I'm going to do it at the end, and I won't click save because that would be gay if I didn't click save. It's also got a proper saving feature now. Control S works and all that sort of thing with the little star thing there, just to make it a little bit nicer. We've also got this new plugin feature now. What this allows you to do is load in a plugin. I'm going to load in the Dead Anarchy plugin, and what this does is it adds 3 new objects. In theory there will be a couple more because I need to add the player spawns to this. But what this essentially allows you to do is, say, like, you place all the objects from the Dead Anarchy engine into this editor. So that means that no matter what the game is, you'll be able to place it, and it needs to be updated so that you can use models instead of, because at the moment it only works by placing a couple of set models. You can only define like the shape of a model, and you can only define either a sphere or a cube to use as shapes. But what I want to get eventually is the ability for the person to be able to choose to place any kind of item, and this won't physically place the item in the map. It will create an object which will then be created in the game separately. And what I want, this will be used for all sorts of things like the ammo shop, lights, nodes, and spawns. So with that covered, I'm going to just move on to this tab. This tab is all the textures which are loaded into the map, and these will be all the textures which compiled into the final map file for use in the map. And this doesn't do anything just yet, but I really love this reskin. I think it looks a lot more professional than the old one did, especially the font as well. And I mean, if you go here, you can click and get a bit of information about the plugin. I haven't written much of a description for that one, but it's definitely there. But now, I mean, then you can choose to export the map, and that'll export it, which I'm going to do now and then load it up into the game, but I'll skip out on all that because it takes just a little bit. It takes about 20 seconds to export a map, depending on how many polygons you have and how large the map is itself. But what I'm just going to do now is show off the last feature, which is the delete feature. I'm just going to delete all of these little grass objects, and that's that. I'm not actually going to save this, so I'm just going to click no. But that's the first portion of this video done. I'm now going to move on to stage 2, which is actually going to show this map in game. So yeah, stick around. And welcome to the second test portion of this video. This is actually showing the map in the game now. Now I haven't actually redone the lighting for this map, as the editor doesn't let you yet, but it's using default lighting at the moment. It doesn't look too bad, but if I just run around for a bit, you can see how the map works. Like, all this grass down here has been nicely placed, and I quite like this map actually. For a test map, it's kind of cool. But this is the sort of thing I'd be expecting people to make for custom maps. I mean, this is pretty basic to make. This took about 3 minutes to make in total, aside from gathering textures and things. But once you get the textures, maps do not take long at all to make. That's the beauty of SE. It's an extremely easy to use editor. It's literally just drag and drop an item where you want it. Kind of like, it's as basic as just drag. It's literally just you drag and drop items into the level and go from there. But yeah, we've got all the nice like engine features here, and I would really love to get zombies in here, because I really love the feel of this engine so far. It feels a bit choppy at times. This map especially is a bit weird, because maps with a lot of detail like this, your FPS drops quite a lot when looking at the detail, and I mean, it doesn't drop, like, it drops by quite a lot, but it's still pretty high. So like on my PC, on like the other test map, I was getting about 900 FPS. On this map, when I'm not on the ground level and not in the grass, I'm getting about 750 FPS. But when I drop down into the grass, it goes down to about 300, and it's still a high FPS. But the game, when the FPS changes by such a significant amount, the game jitters, and that can create a problem. So what I tend to do is just play in 60 FPS capped, or 120 FPS or so, but for recording 60 FPS is the norm. But yeah, we've still got all these nice little features. The lights are still drawing there into the darkness where a zombie's probably lurking. But yeah, this is this so far, and just gonna dive around the corner, pick off a couple of zombies, run around the corner again, dive 360, and if you can't tell, then this map's kind of based off Shipment. I kind of placed some random crates down and tried to make it look a bit like Shipment, and I don't know, this is really just a test map. This isn't going to be in the final game. I'm going to drop in a couple of little maps like this, just like a little like example maps or little arena maps. There are going to be a couple of SE project files like this just lurking around, just so you guys can, like, those of you guys who are interested in making maps, there'll be plenty of tutorials on how to do it, and it's extremely easy to do. It gets harder when you want to create your own resources, but I assume that most people will just want to like use the game's assets which have already been made, like things like this grass and things like all these little plants here that's already been made, so they can just sort of drop them down in their own world. And that light's glitched because it's in the floor. Teehee. I don't know, that's funny. It's not funny. But yeah, that's the progress we've got so far. Things like this, detail is going to be completely turn-offable, so if you've got a slower machine, then you'll be able to run much faster without this grass littered all over the place. I mean, there isn't even that much on this map. There's 9k polys worth of grass here, which isn't overkill. The main thing is with the game is the polygon limit itself isn't really an issue. The thing is having polygons so there's not loads in a concentrated area. The first grass test I did was dreadful, because I had about 4 times as much grass as this compact into an area which was about half the size. And that lagged just because like there's so much crammed into one area. You don't need that much grass. You'll find that having just this much amount of grass can create an effective look, and no one's really paying attention to the ground anyway, so if there's zombies coming, I don't think that they're going to be really looking at the grass. But yeah, I'm liking this map so far. There's a nice bit of eeriness to it. There's a little side to it that maybe people don't like. And just looking down that dark corridor there, shooting, getting your nice muzzle flash going. And I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to get some multiplayer action here. I can't wait to get zombies in here, to be honest. They're partly in here, like I can place this thing, but they don't do anything yet. They just sort of stand there, lighting up when I shoot them. But these are these zombies at the moment. They're not really anything. They're just random little boxes so far. I find that inappropriate, to be honest. But yeah, I can't wait to get these sort of maps going. Little maps like this are kind of probably going to be some of my favourite maps, just because the action's going to be pretty intense. We're going to have zombies coming over the walls. We're going to have zombies dropping down from the middle of the map. We're going to have zombies spawning in areas you can't see. And I think these are sort of maps which will excel in your multiplayer action style thing. And I mean, part of the map design is going to be down to where people actually place the spawns. So in the custom maps, which is going to be maps like this, a lot of it will be down to where people place the spawns. But I hope you guys are getting a good grip of the sort of graphical style of this game. This is probably where it's going to be sitting at in terms of graphical quality. Perhaps a little bit more to it. Like this map's actually like not really got much to it. It's only got 3 different kinds of object. Well, 4. It's got the floor, the crates, the wall, and the grass. You probably see a couple more like items, maybe random pipes, a couple of other structures, a bit more interesting maps. Like this is just a test map which did take like 5 minutes to make. But what's really good now is that SE is all done. Well, not quite done, but SE is really getting there, so I can start working on the maps and be feeling safe that I can actually save them, because up until like 2 days ago I didn't even have saving working in SE, which means I had to keep the program open if I wanted to continue editing a map. But now I can just load a map back in, edit it a bit, save it, delete things. The only thing that you can't really do yet is select objects and delete objects which have already been placed on the level. And I'm going to do a sort of list system, so on one of the tabs you're going to just be able to select from all the instances which are on the level and go from there really. And when you select it, that little instance will turn red and the camera will move towards it so you know where it is. And yeah, you can move from there. But yeah, this is pretty much the longest update video I've ever done for the game, but I hope I've shared a bit of knowledge of what the actual game's going to be like. And for those of you who will be interested in like creating maps and things like that, that's the sort of thing that's going to be down. And I know like these maps don't look particularly graphically amazing, but I quite like the style, to be honest. Considering this game is built on like the only budget for this game is the music budget, which is pretty much all I'm actually spending like money on for this, considering that it's all really made by us, then I quite like the way it's turning out. I'm not sure when the next live stream is going to be. I want to do one tomorrow at some point. I might even do one today, I'm not entirely sure yet. But anyway guys, I hope you found this video reasonably informative. I know it's pushing like 13 minutes so far, but yeah, that's what we have here. And then we just have this nice slow motion effect lying down in the grass just to finish off. The grass looks dodgy up close, but most games grass does look dodgy up close. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.